According to widecharts.com, the median home sale list price is up 3.9% year over year. According to redfin.com, the Arkansas median home list price is up 7.9%. And lastly, according to realtor.com, downtown Bentonville's median list price is up 14% year over year. Needless to say, my friend, real estate is hyper local. When you buy real estate, you're not buying in the entire country, you're not buying the entire state, you're buying hyper local in a specific town. Of course, maybe that's benefit to you, or maybe it's not if you look at those numbers. But today, my friend, I'm going to give you my 2025 real estate predictions as to what's going to happen here in Northwest Arkansas. That's right, I'm going to look into my crystal ball. No, that's a baseball. I'm going to look into my crystal ball and predict what's going to happen in our local market. Of course, I need to lay the groundwork for some of my predictions to help you understand where I'm coming from to give you this information. Here's one right off the bat, my friend. I predict that more and more people, now more than ever, are tired of waiting. Their life has changed enough, and they're going to trade in their COVID interest rate for a better house in 2025. You got that right. So many people are holding on to that 2.25% or 2.5% and saying, oh, I really love this interest rate, but they're starting to love and need a different house even more so. We're going to talk about rates. We're going to talk about what if scenarios. We're going to talk about national numbers versus hyper local numbers, again, to give you an understanding of my 2025 predictions. And I'm going to talk about things that we know for sure that will give us some confidence with some of these predictions. Without any particular order, let's talk about interest rates. One of my biggest pet peeves is to hear people say, I'm gonna wait because the interest rates are so high, I'm gonna wait for them to come down. My friend, the rates are high compared to what is what I always ask them. So let's go ahead and bring up this chart right here and shows you a 40 plus year history of what interest rates look like. Now let's look in the early 80s. That's, my friend, when high interest rates were around, up into the mid to upper teens. Many of us were babies or toddlers or even less than 10 years old at that point that are watching this video. So when people say interest rates are high, if we look over the last 40, 50 years, they're actually below that 40, 50 year average. Now, if all you're looking at is the last 5 to 7 years, yes, interest rates are high, especially like I had said earlier, compared to maybe an interest rate like myself. We bought this home that I'm standing in right now in 2020, and our interest rate is in the 2s, and we're going to be trading in our interest rate for a different home in 2025. We're probably going to be in that 7% range. Not a lender. I'll have that posted down here in many parts of this video. I'm not a lender, but I happen to believe we're just going to have to pony up and buy the house that fits us better now and not worry so much about the interest rate. One common misconception people have about the federal interest rate versus mortgage interest rates is a very hot topic right now, my friend, as the Fed has recently met. I don't know when you're watching this video, but they recently met and decided to lower the interest rate. Now, what that does not do is does not lower mortgage rates. And many people that think that that's what that is. In fact, many news outlets, when they say the Fed is lowering or raising interest rates, the little logo that they have there next to their chart is a picture of a house, which gives people the misconception that mortgage rates are directly correlated to the federal interest rate, and it's not. Somewhere down the line, yes, there is something that does get affected, but it is not a one-for-one. If they raise the federal interest rate, that does not mean mortgage rates go up. Because they lower the federal interest rate, it doesn't mean that mortgage rates are going down. What we know for sure is interest rates are going to do this over time. We saw that on the chart. We can't predict what's going to happen. We cannot. What we can plan for is, what if they go down? Or, my friend, what if they go up between now and when you're looking to buy a home? Many people come to me and they say, hey, Anthony, we've gone to a lender and we understand that based off of today's interest rates, we can afford a $750,000 home. We're going to do a 30-year mortgage. It's going to be a fixed interest rate, and the rates are currently at X%. Well, my friend, what we don't know is what will rates be by the time they close on that house. Is it a new construction? Is it fictitious as to what rates are today? Because we do know rates are going to change up and down. They're going to go up and down. We don't know what's going to happen with them. Let me show you a quick example of this $750,000 house. Now I have to give you some clarification. I'm not a lender. I don't know what rates currently are today. I'm just saying I know that rates right now are around 7%. $750,000 house at 7% for a 30-year fixed mortgage with 20% down, that would provide you a payment of around $3,991 a month. I'm not including taxes, I'm not including insurance, I'm not including any POA dues that you might have. Now let's say the interest rate did go down 1%. That would be a huge jump, my friend. People think that that's what's going to happen, is there's going to be a big jump in interest rate. I don't predict that happening. It may go down 1% over the course of the year, maybe. If the interest rate did go down 1%, now we're looking at a payment closer to $3,600. You're saving $400 a month. That's $4,800 a year for you math whizzes out there if the interest rate goes down 1%. What if the interest rate goes up 1%? I think you can do the math there too, my friend, but here's what people are doing. They're saying, I'm gonna wait for interest rates to go down. I'm sure you might be nodding along with that. I'm waiting for it to go down a quarter point or a half a point for me to be able to make this major decision. Well, my friend, I got lambasted for saying this a couple years ago, is marry the house and date the rate. Now, I say that tongue in cheek because I don't know what interest rates are going to do, and I don't want to be irresponsible with saying that. But I do know that interest rates are going to do this. What if you get in a home and lock your interest rate at 6.75%, and then what if over the course of the next 3 to 5 years, interest rates continue to do this? You're going to be happy that you did. Now, what if in the scenario that you lock in that 6.75% and interest rates go down over the next year or two? General rule of thumb, if interest rates go down about 1% from what you're currently locked in at, from what your current mortgage rate is, it might make sense for you to refinance. You can change your rate. You can recast your loan. There's many things you can do. I'm not a lender. To be able to change your financial picture. But what we do know about houses, let's go ahead and throw up a chart of what houses have looked like for the last 40, 50 years. Looking at this chart, this shows you that home prices over the last 40, 50 years have continued to go up and to the right. They've never come down significantly to have a major correction unless we're talking about the housing crisis like we had in 2009 to 2012, where we really dipped those 3 years. Many people are waiting for something like that to happen before they go and purchase a home. And the people that did go purchase a home are hoping that for the next couple years that doesn't happen. For good measure, let's pop up another chart here that shows you what rents have done historically, and rents have continued to rise. Rents have never gone down according to this chart, so we know that is a certainty, as well as rents and home prices are continuing to rise. My friend, if you're looking to buy a home and then within the next year, maybe year and 6 months, you're going to sell that home, then yeah, we need to be more conservative with those numbers. But from clients that I'm working with, we're buying homes and then they're in the home for at least 2 years, maybe 3 to 7 years before we go and sell it. We cannot predict the future. We don't know what's going to happen, but we do know that, especially nationally, those are the national numbers. Local numbers, they're even higher. They're even steeper here in Bentonville. Now, I don't have a chart put together for Bentonville, and that's by design because I think you might get shocked, my friend. It wasn't that long ago where you could buy a home in downtown Bentonville within a few blocks of the square for only $300,000 to $400,000, and that same home today is now well over $1 million, maybe even close to $2 million. Now, many of my clients are needing to sell a home somewhere else in a different marketplace. So here we are in Northwest Arkansas. Our market is very much up and to the right. You might be selling a home in a marketplace where people might be seeing more price reductions, more time on market. Sellers and builders are giving buyers concessions like money towards your closing costs, or we'll take X amount of dollars off the purchase price. We're not seeing that too often here in Northwest Arkansas. So if you're needing to sell somewhere else and you're needing to buy here in Northwest Arkansas, if I'm your broker of choice, I need to be in touch with your realtor there wherever you're selling so we can be in communication with one another, as that is very important to the process. Alluding back to what I said something earlier is I have people that are trying to time the market. If you're looking to buy in Northwest Arkansas, the best time was yesterday. The second best time is today. The old saying goes, when was the best time to plant an apple tree? Well, it was 50 years ago. The second best time is today, because what we know is our marketplace is bearing fruit, to go on with our Apple example, is we are up into the right with our home sale values. And I truly believe that is going to continue on. As one of my predictions for 2025 is we're going to continue to see appreciation in our marketplace for the foreseeable future. Not a lender, not a financial advisor, my friend, but based on what we know, where things have come from, we're going to continue to see home prices go up here in Northwest Arkansas. There is an argument out there that house prices have gone through the roof. The house prices are high. My friend, everything is high. It would be ridiculous to say that everything costs the same as it did 40, 50 years ago. My friend, as you can tell, groceries, cars, haircuts, everything has gone up in regards to inflation. We can't look at house prices and say house prices are high. House prices are what they are now. If you're waiting for a huge market correction, you could very well be waiting a long time. For a fun example, let's go back to 1964. Only a couple years into the Corvette's run with Chevrolet, but a base model coupe 1964 Corvette would cost you $4,252 brand new off the lot in 1964. Fast forward to 2024, a two-door Corvette coupe, not a convertible, no, to the ZR, whatever they are, but a base model Corvette nowadays is $70,000. My friend, that's not quite 20 times higher than what it was back in 1964. So needless to say, yes, that's a luxury item. A home is not a luxury. A home is a necessity. The fact that I know for sure is you need a place to live. Maybe you might be like some of my clients and you move here and rent for a little while, trying to figure out where really home is going to be for you. It's going to be Bentonville, Fayetteville, Rogers, Springdale. Maybe you move here and rent while you're building a home. Maybe you're like some of my clients, you move here and buy a home, figure out where life is going to be, knowing that this is going to be a temporary living situation, buy something basic here while you build or while you're looking for that more permanent home. Maybe we have a very intense conversation, which I like to have with my clients, to truly tease out what it is that you need in the lifestyle that you're wanting to live. Then we go and look for the house that you're wanting to buy based off of our conversation. And once we see it, we lock it in for you. A couple of other things that we know for sure, if you are a buyer, you're going to find some really good deals in the wintertime. However, the inventory is low to choose from. Now, if you want a lot to choose from, it might not be the best time for you to buy March through June, because that is the best time to sell in Northwest Arkansas, is that spring and early summer months. But that's when there's going to be the most inventory out there. And Northwest Arkansas's home market tends to follow the school calendar. When school's in session, we're not selling as many houses. When school's getting ready to go out of session, we're going to sell some houses because people are looking forward to their summer months. People are going to look forward to maybe moving during the summer months and establishing themselves into their new home before school starts in the fall. This isn't one of my predictions, my friend, but I do know for a fact that once we start going March, April, May, our inventory is going to increase. We know that for a fact for as long as our MLS has tracked sales in our area. It's going to happen. And we also know that October through March, it's typically a little slow around here. I've sold in other markets. When I sold up in Minnesota, it gets darker and colder earlier, and nobody wants to move when it's dark and cold, much less trudge through the snow to go track in snow in somebody else's house. So the market is a little more cyclical farther north, but we do have our cycles here in Northwest Arkansas as well. The moment you've all been waiting for, my friend, let me tell you about my 2025 predictions. We talked earlier about how people are going to trade in their COVID interest rate for a better home. I happen to believe that we're going to start to see more multiple offers. Maybe not as much as what we saw in 2020 and 2021, but I happen to believe we're going to start to see more multiple offers because inventory is going to continue to be low. Builders cannot keep up with demand. So with low inventory, pent-up demand, I believe, regardless of what interest rates are going to do, I personally believe we're going to see more and more multiple offers, especially under the $600,000, $700,000 range. We'll see multiple offers. What you need to do in that scenario is make sure you're partnering yourself with a broker that has helped people negotiate in a multiple offer situation, both on the buy side and the sell side. As a listing agent in multiple offers, I have seen what other buyer agents encourage their buyers to write on their offers, so I know how to win out on a lot of those, but that's for another day. Earlier, we talked about rates, whether they go up or they go down. So here's my prediction one way or the other. If rates go up, we're going to have a soft market again. If rates start going into the 8s or 9s, heaven forbid, I hope they don't, But if rates go higher than that 7.5%, 8% range, I believe there are still going to be those people out there that want to buy a home. They're tired of whatever they're living in right now, and they're going to move regardless of the interest rate because it's more important for them to buy a home because they had triplets, or sell a home because they had twins move off to college. That may happen in my life someday. Now, if rates go down, my prediction for 2025, if rates go down, is we're going to see builder incentives go away. Right now, you could probably go to a new construction builder. They're going to provide some type of incentive to you, whether it's in the form of money towards your closing costs, whether it's maybe they're going to install a fence or blinds or gutters for you. But builder incentives, I believe if rates go down in 2025, you're going to see builder incentives go away. Also, if rates go down, and especially if they go down significantly, I believe we're going to see a buyer feeding frenzy like we've never seen before. Because of all that pent-up demand, because of people being in their homes so long, they were waiting to see what happens with interest rates. They were waiting to see what happened with the election. My friend, uncertainty drives people to step back for a second. Whether your candidate won or not in this last election, what we do know is here's who's going to be in the office for the next 4 years. Now that you have that, there's been certainty given back into the market, and people are going to start buying and selling a lot more than they have, especially in the second half of 2024. Another prediction that I have for 2025 is I believe this first half of the year, between January and July, we could very well see low appraisals. The reason for that being because of our softer market in Q3 and Q4 of 2024, the Q1 and Q2 markers in 2025 could very well have low appraisals. Combine low appraisals with multiple offers, and we've got a pretty hairy situation. Again, wise to partner with a broker that knows how to handle that. At the beginning of 2024, I did an exhaustive analysis as to what our market has done over the last 15 years, which included COVID, which included the housing market crash in the 2009-2012 era. And what I found, my friend, was Northwest Arkansas appreciates on average 5% per year. And I don't believe next year is going to be any different. In fact, I predict Northwest Arkansas is going to appreciate above that 5% year over year. So in winter of 2025, I truly believe we're going to see about a 6.5% appreciation year over year. Again, I don't have a crystal ball, but that's Anthony's prediction based on what I see our market currently doing. If interest rates go down and we have that feeding frenzy, I'm going to be way off. And maybe it could be closer to 10% year over year appreciation. In addition to these predictions, something that is going to encourage our market to continue to grow is the world's largest retailer, Walmart, is building a brand new home office less than 5 miles from where I'm standing and doing this video for you today. And they're recalling many of their employees to come and move to Northwest Arkansas so they can work out of that brand new home office just down the street. So I happen to believe, again, inventory is going to be tight. We're going to see multiple offers. Again, appraisals may come in low as there are people continuing to move here on a daily basis. Add in the people that are moving here for Walmart, and we've got the makings of a market that's going to continue to appreciate. I do not believe Northwest Arkansas is going to depreciate in value in 2025. Even if interest rates go up slightly, I still think Northwest Arkansas, because of supply and demand, simple economics, my friend, I do believe we're still going to appreciate, maybe not at the 6%, but maybe if rates go up year over year, we'll still be in that 3 to 4% appreciation for Northwest Arkansas. Tagging on with these predictions is something I'm already seeing. That's not a prediction. It's just something I'm getting a feeling from my clients. People like you have telling me they've got more confidence in their decision going forward. We touched on that earlier with indecision with presidential election, with indecision as to what's going on with interest rates. What my clients are telling me is, Anthony, here's what I know. Interest rates are going to do what they're going to do. Housing prices are going to continue to rise in Northwest Arkansas. I need to buy a house. Can you help me? Yes, my friend, of course I can help you. It's always my pleasure, my friend, to put this information together for you. And now you know a little bit more about what life is like in and around Bentonville. Thanks for watching.